good to see you on our new channel that we're on now. So, for those that don't know, Known World United is where we generally host our Extra Life fundraising, which we've been extremely successful at for like 6 years. I don't know numbers.
Yeah, it was 6 years.
And we've moved over here because Heel Turn Wrestling, only if we had a lot of money would we start our own promotion, and we would wait till COVID's over. Heel Turn Radio is going to move back to a more wrestling centric things instead of being the catch-all for all of our little collective of people does. So welcome to World United. Welcome back to Down Outlands. I'm your King Ginger. I'm your DM, and let's go around the table and let's see what everyone remembers how we left off. Oh, introduce thyselves, please.
All right, I'm Nate, your D&D ringer. I am playing Adderkin Rogue Twig Swiftstrike. And what I remember is there was a weird looking little thing with giant tentacles. And then there's a bunch of dudes that are probably going to murder us, and I'm kind of scared.
Fair.
I am Shannon. I am playing Charity Melmart, who is a 10-year-old artificer. And the last thing I remember is jotting some things in my book and hoping that Anon would come help me, even though he smells like a poopy butt face. It's really not my fault. I was really hoping he shows up.
Did you happen to listen to the episode you missed?
I listened to bits. I have not had a chance to listen to everything. So,
all right. Well, I will let you know what happened.
Okay, awesome.
We should call that episode Heavy Metal because there was a lot of lore.
You just need to get a rim shot thing just to put in for every time Ryan hits one of these
80 things.
Or even just a rim shot counter in Ryan's screen so it clicks off.
Yes.
The sound the viewers are making at home. I'll go. I'm talking. I'm Warrior.
Oh.
I play Akko, who sounds like that. He is a gnoll, and he's a fighter. And last time I'm down in Outlands, he also saw some weird tentacle things and a bunch of dudes that we're going to murder, and I'm not scared at all.
Also, he threatened a dragon.
I'm going to murder that dragon so hard.
Nice. I'm Cassandra. I'm playing Amulet Sticky Fingers. She is a Kinder Barbarian. And the last thing I remember is meeting a very cranky but not so scary dragon and stealing some stuff and murdering some people. And it was just generally a good day.
Well,
as 10-year-olds do. Also, Charity, I just realized you said 10-year-old. I thought you said tendrilled, and I was like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
Well,
that's on brand for last
like, oh no, she's an elephant.
Oh no.
She is now a squidling.
Shit got real.
Already happened in one group. We might as well do it in two, right?
No. Listen, I've had enough of like body parts changing on my characters in these campaigns.
I do not apologize for my absolute adoration of terrifying body horror. I will not be kowtowed into not doing that. I won't do it, probably. I mean, there's a 50-50 chance.
Probably. Maybe.
Maybe a little, maybe a lot.
Stay tuned to Known World United for terrible body horror Tuesdays.
It's the opposite of Tuesdays of when we're doing things with action figures.
Mm-hmm. Then you have some crossovers.
You can watch something wholesome, or you can watch me talk about horrible things. All right, so let's start with Charity. Charity, you're scribbling madly in your book as Keska and her dragon-born companion arrive. And as you're writing, you're writing furiously to Anon. all of a sudden, in a very strange scrawled red ink, it just says, "Oh, hello there." And you look down and you kind of stop, and then you start writing furiously again. And as the ink is hitting the page, you feel yourself just coming apart and folding into the page itself. And the last thing your cohorts, your siblings notice is you're not there anymore.
Dope. I got Thanos.
That was exactly the remark
Right?
Ryan made in chat.
Yep. Did you get
Hashtag snapping.
Mr. Anon, I don't feel so good.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what you said, actually.
Oh, that's not okay, dude. I'm still not over it. How dare you?
Aw.
Oh,
It was for real sads. So you feel yourself being bent literally in a magical stream of consciousness into light, and you are shot past the cosmos, past the barrier of the astral sea. As you're traveling, you figure this must be some type of teleport or plane shift, or you're not sure what spell this is, but you literally rise up from the ink you were writing, like it's dripping off of you and you're shaking it off. It comes off like clean, but you're like, and you're on a page. And across from you in this kind of pitch blackness, except for like a light shining down where you're at on this giant open book. In the darkness, there's a figure holding a pen. And it's looking across from you. It says, "Hello, how are you?"
I think I'm okay, but dude, I gotta tell you, if your name is Tom and/or Riddle, I am Gonzies.
"Oh no, that is not my name. I believe
Oh.
we are siblings of a type."
Okay, you're like the 8th person that said that in like 2 weeks. I don't know what's happening, but like y'all really got some obsessions.
There are
Family ties. I'm just saying.
There are many of us. If you have ever taken the time to look at the family tree in Tawny's house, you will see that you are merely the newest leaves on the newest branch. I, however, am closer to the trunk.
Okay, cool.
You notice this person moves, and they're moving on the outskirts, and when they move, the shadow moves with them.
okay. She's kind of like keeping her eyes on this person and like just kind of turning in a circle, like as they walk.
You get the impression that they are scrutinizing you, like just kind of trying to figure out, by looking at you, who, sizing you up, for lack of a better term.
Can I do like a perception check of any kind to see if they have like ill intent towards me?
Yeah, of course you can. Insight, please.
Cool. That's gonna be a 14.
You're getting the impression that you would get if you were examining an unknown magical item. Like there is definitely kind of this look at it, trying to figure out how it works, why it works that way, how can I break it if I have to, but how do I use it? It's very detached.
Gotcha. I think she's gonna kind of keep her eyes like locked on this person and just kind of go,
So I thought when I was sending notes and stuff, it was going to Anon because like he's my BFF. We're real tight. Like I'm not saying we're like besties, but we're probably besties like this point. So I just really want to know, like, number 1, who's you? Number 2, why am I here? And number 3, how the heck am I getting out? Because my friends, not doing so great back there. Kind of needed help. Weird, creepy tentacle things. Big lady, dragon,
Big
thing.
lady.
Yeah.
Sorry. It just somehow popped out of me. I didn't even know where it came from.
Raven.
So you hear a laugh, and it's just like a harsh coughing bark. I'm not even gonna pretend to do it. Like someone who's been a 60-year smoker hacking up a lung. Except for a little more wheezy. I have been reading all that you have been writing. This is one of my many homes that the scandalous thing you call Anon has imprisoned me in.
Okay, wait, he put you here?
He has imprisoned me throughout an entire library of books
Well,
for being what I am.
okay. I don't think they would do that without a good reason. Like, what are you? Okay, maybe I don't want to know, but I feel like I gotta know. So what are you?
He is far worse than myself or my brother could have ever been. He is a liar and a cheater, and he is a villain of the highest order. He is not as he seems. Finally, this person steps forward. Their skin is pulled absolutely taut to their skeleton. Their eyes are just blank holes with yellow light in the very dim back of them. Their hands, again, the skin is almost taut to the point on the bones that it looks like just a paper cut would cause it to unravel.
Like the canonical Phantom of the Opera. I'm fucking here for this.
And they're dressed in finery, but it's old and it's got moth holes in it. It's black overcoat, white ruffled shirt, red ascot around it. They have a very odd looking, what the heck is that called? All of a sudden the word ran away from me. Monocle. That all it does is it makes the one dot of yellow in the back glow even harsher. I am your brother. I am Christoph Piakins, one of the early wards of Mr. Tiberius Tawny.
Hey, why did they trap you here?
My brother and I committed fratricide in order to complete a magical incantation. In response, Tawny sicked his rabid dog Anon upon us. We escaped. My brother still wanders the multiverse. I, however, thought some sort of agreement could be made for clemency, especially seeing as who Tawny is. But Anon instead, under a flag of truce, attacked and dispersed myself within a library prison. Small parts of me are within all volumes in the library where I am now trapped. However, he has made a fatal mistake by giving you one of those books. I have been able to read everything you have written.
I mean, okay. I'm just like, you're calling him a bad guy, but then you tell me that you're doing this like fratricide thing. And correct me if I'm wrong. The last time I checked, that means like murder. So that's like really bad because like I can think of a lot of really bad things that you could do, but like murder's at the top of the list. So like the worst things that you could do. And I'm just saying like that makes you kind of sound like a bad guy. Maybe I'm crazy, but like you kind of look like the bad guy.
God damn it, Warrior. He walks towards you and the shadow behind him like lengthens, like it's being stretched. And he looms over you. He says, I am a terrible thing. And his eyes glow super bright yellow. He leans down. His mouth becomes slightly unhinged. You can see and just inside is an infinite blackness with this putrid tongue. And then he stops. And you hear this noise. And it sounds like a pen to paper. And he says, until the next time we have time to spend together, my young sister, please just be aware that Anon is not as he seems, nor is your, and then you're out of the book. And the book's on the floor and you're standing there. Anon's leaning against the chair, just kind of, they're peering at you. And there is a sheen of sweat on their face. And Anon looks at you and says, we should not do that very often. That is taxing. Back to the Astral Sea. Last I remember, Skitch and Akko were going to go kill those guys. Because Skitch was all about getting them bodies, them loots. Am I correct?
Well, we went down the alley and there was a thing there, but then there was things that came behind us too.
Yeah.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Akko followed his echo to help him on the hunt and found something.
So you see more of these, what you now recognize as squidlings. You don't have a name for them, but that's what they are. As well as 10 other people, very similar to the people you slew last episode. And then that their bodies were taken. So, how would you like to proceed? Because what you're realizing at this point is you're being herded into a center.
So we're in like a metropolis, right? So there's buildings and things, or
You're in ruins.
Ruins, okay.
Yeah, you're on the outskirts of a larger city built on the body of a dead god, but you are kind of in the ruins. There's buildings that most of them are knocked down, or at least they've got giant open spaces in them. So there's areas like if you were going to try to hide, I mean, you could also just try to break back into Keska's safe house.
DC too high.
DC was very high.
No. Is there anything with like a roof? Like if you wanted to get to high ground, is that possible?
Keska's is a single story, yeah. Because the dragon, if you'll remember, did perch on there last time to berate you.
Yeah, I think we should head back there. Akko will be like, follow me.
Following.
Follow Skitch say, follow Big Dog Akko. He want to kill dragon. So he skitters after you.
See who food.
Oh, wow. It will take, are you going to try to get to the roof as these kind of, like I said, all the humans turn in unison and take like starting off a slow step a little bit faster. It's like they all start building momentum as they sprint at you in unison.
Yeah, he'll try to get to the roof. He'll sort of. How tall is it? Is it like 10 feet tall or?
Yeah, it's about 10 feet tall. We'll just call it 10.
Is there enough time if they run back that he could boost some of the others up onto the roof?
You could get 2 out of the 3 up on the roof.
Okay. Can he, while they're fleeing, how far behind us, how far away are the squidlings?
They're further back, but they're so like they're spread out in this like, so they've got this like half circle of people closing on you.
Yeah, I
They're
remember.
moving slower behind the humans.
How far would you say that is in feet-ish?
20.
Okay. Then as
They're in range, yeah.
As they're fleeing, Akko is going to chuck some hand axes at the closest squidling. So he has a theory. So that's ranged. That's probably a good enough attack. It's 20. Not natural 20, just 20.
20 hits.
Great. That's 13.
You throw that hand axe, you whip it sidearm, Bernie Kosar style, and it goes right in the squidling's head, and it just falls down. It's a giant, loopy, long tentacles fall over it, and there's a dead squidling.
Do any of the people seem to snap out of it? Snap out of it. Sorry. Sure.
Now you can only get one person up on the roof.
Wow. He'll get Twig up on the roof.
Yeah. You toss the Twigster up on the roof. Twig, make me an acrobatics check. Actually, Akko, make me a athletics. Twig, make me an acrobatics.
24.
Yeah. Just don't botch, Akko.
2.
Yeah. You're literally like upsy daisy, and Twig does a bunch of non-necessary flips in the air.
He just sort of picks him up in one hand and like throws him over his shoulder nonchalantly, like easy.
Fastball specials him onto the roof. Twig, you land. Make me a perception check, please.
Whee! As I fly through the air. That is a 15.
You land and turn and look, and there are more people.
Like how many more?
There is also Dragon Scat up there.
Ew.
And Akko, if you don't have an inspiration, you can have one now. There's 20 you can see coming out of kind of the weird haze from the city area. They're actually moving down the street towards you in the opposite direction. So they're literally closing in on the safe house. They're also carrying what look to be flaming bottles of liquid.
There's a lot more, and they brought fire.
Skitch moves where he's behind Akko's leg. Oh, there's so many. I do not know if Skitch wants to kill all of them. Too many.
Today, good day to die.
No, not good day to die. If die, then the goats come and then 440 body.
Good
Not
day.
good. No one
Kill.
don't want to serve an afterlife. Just want coin. Big dog Akko, you know this. Amulet, what are you doing?
So is the side of the building, is it like super smooth? Is there like a spot? I'm thinking of like, I want to try to like stick my hoopak in and fling myself up onto the roof.
Are you going to try to pole vault under a roof?
Yeah.
A, you can have inspiration for that because I am chef's kiss into it. B, I want you to make a acrobatics check.
Oh boy.
All I can see in my head is Diana from the old D&D cartoon doing that all the time.
Not my greatest skill, but I rolled a 15, so I have a 17.
You do it. You literally plant the hoopak in the ground as you're running. It bends. You hold on to the loop on the top, and you go flying through the air, and you barely avoid, dragon scat on top of the roof. You come to a screeching halt using your hoopak again to skid on top of the roof, and you look at Twig and kind of do the like, yeah, I'm fancy.
Can I throw dragon poop at the ones with the Molotov cocktails?
Yeah, Twig, you can have inspiration for your hurtling of feces. You can hurl dragon scat at these people. I'm not sure why you want to, but sure.
Maybe they'll drop the Molotov cocktails.
Maybe they'll also start on fire.
Charity, please roll me a dice and choose odd or even before you roll.
Ooh. I'm gonna choose odd.
Okay.
I got 2. It was not odd.
Dragon scat is not flammable, not instantly combustible.
Not even from a red dragon.
I was gonna say red dragon, maybe we'll give it a 50-50 shot of being combustible poo.
It's not dry enough.
Still poop, I'm throwing it.
Yeah, it's still pretty wet. This is fresh. You know what? I need you and Amulet to make me con saves. This has got the funk of the 9 hells on it.
Oh. I'm gonna use that inspiration.
I got a 17.
Oh, that was worse.
You're good, but you're like, oh God, this smells real bad. This smells like what Akko does outside.
Hey.
No.
7.
Twig, you're at disadvantage for throwing dragon poo because you're trying not to hurl.
Okay.
Don't drop it on yourself.
Yeah, you've never. This smell is. Ugh. Like Bigfoot's pubic hair is on fire.
Oh, God, that was official. No one needed, man.
That's so specific.
That's for casual Doug. Mixed with rotten cottage cheese.
So that's 13 if I use Dex.
Okay. You don't hit them, but you know what? You do hit a couple of them. Just splatter damage. And they just keep walking. But now they're covered in red dragon scat.
Good.
Thanks.
And at that point, I would like you to roll me a d6. Nate's just like, oh, come on, man. I literally saw you deflate, Nate.
Oh, 6.
6 of them stop because they're involuntarily vomiting all over themselves.
Excellent.
Akko, it's back to you and Skitch, and they will be on you right now. So is there anything you want to do?
Akko is going to tell Skitch to, he'd be like, get on shoulders. And then mine. And then he'll...
Are you guys going full-blown Master Blaster here?
No. Level 2. 20 guys.
It's time for you to go beyond Thunderdome.
I don't even have 1 hit point for all these guys. Akko is going to, he's going to tell Stitch to get on his shoulders like that, and then he will jump and try to grab the edge of the roof. It's like a 3-foot jump. Pull himself and skitch up.
Make me an athletics check, please.
Yeah, I rolled an 18, so that's like 30.
You easily jump up and you're starting to pull yourself up, and I need you to make me another athletics check because you can feel hands all over your legs.
Bad touch.
Starting to pull, yeah, bad touch indeed.
Yeah, that's 21.
You shake your legs out and you land, and Skitch looks at you, he goes, oh, big dog Akko, this is bad news. Nowhere to hide, no one to stab. Skitch is no like this.
On roof.
Oh, on the roof with no shadows to hide and no stabbing. And he looks over where Twig is just got dragon poo on his hands. It's like, Oh, even worse. Little dog Twig poop himself. And we go back to Charity.
Oh boy.
Charity, Anno is sitting there, and you finally get a look around, and you're in a massive library. Make me a perception check, please.
Okay. That would be a 4.
You're just like, hey, best friend. You're enthralled by Anon's greatness. Charity, I consider us friends.
Yeah. I think so too.
She looks super freaked out by what just happened, by the way.
I think perhaps the book I gave you was maybe not the correct choice.
Well, considering it's a murder book, yeah, you think?
Can I have the book, Charity?
Not until you tell me what the heck that was all about and who the weird creepy dude with the ugly skin is. I mean, not that I should judge, but still, like, what the heck, man?
So you're standing there, and I need you to make me a athletics check, please.
This is gonna go great. Nothing could go wrong here. 14.
You don't fall, but you kind of like you're feeling like you're walking on a wave as the carpet gets up and scuttles across the floor with you on it to where you're right in front of Anon. Charity, I have no problem explaining the situation to you, but that book, I will give you a different book. That book, I need you to give me, please.
I'll give it to you, but you're gonna tell me the story of the weird dude inside of it first.
The longer you hold on to that book, the harder it's going to be for me to get it from you.
I'm pretty sure I said what I said, so I'd kind of like the story. Tell me the story, and then I'll hand you the book. It's not that complicated.
Anon looks very kind of perplexed by this, and they say, the longer you hold that book on your person, the harder it will be for me to get you and Kristoff separated. I have no problem telling you this tale, but I need the book to be given back to me. You literally need to give me the book, just as I gave it to you. That's how magic works. Or this magic works.
Duh. I go to like the best magic school in my entire damn planet. I'm pretty sure I know how magic works.
Charity!
Kind of like hands the
Charity!
book over.
He gets really loud, or they get really loud for the first time ever. Like the facade of disinterest breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the book.
Fine. She chucks it at his head.
You try to throw it, and it doesn't leave your hand.
Okay, I know that was.
She tries again.
He reaches out and for the first time ever, they have gloves on, like these very fancy velvety gloves. And they say, you need to place the book in my hands.
She does so.
Anon takes the book and wipes the spine clean. And you can see for the first time, someone had colored the bottom of the spine, and there is a very characteresque skulled face on the bottom of the spine. Anon sighs deeply, and they walk over. They find a particular spot, and for the first time, you notice all these books have the same marking on the spine. And he slides it in there. Or they slide it in there. Anon comes back and sits down. Kristoff is your brother. Charity, do you know why I chose to give you the book?
I thought it was because you wanted me to shut up and just write things. Yeah, shocker. I'm not stupid.
There's a point to that. But I think out of your siblings, your close siblings, you have the most potential when it comes to what I am and what I do. Amulet she lacks the common sense that fear brings. And that's because she's Kender. She's also one step away from stealing everything that's not nailed down. Akko does not have control yet of their more primal nature that precludes them from making the sort of decisions that need to be made. And Twig, well, Twig's hard to figure out. I don't enjoy things that are hard to figure out when they should be easy to figure out. You are easy to figure out because you think like I think. So I have no problems being honest with you. I am a sibling of yours. I've neglected to tell you that the whole time. My brothers and I were the first class. I would prefer you don't share that information with anyone. Think of it as a test. Kristoff
So
killed two of his siblings.
yeah, that's what he said.
Well,
And then he called you a bad guy. And I'm like, how does that work?
I am complicated. All of your siblings are complicated. Our father is complicated. Did he give you a ring?
I don't think so.
And they reach into their mouth and their whole hand goes down.
Gross.
Like they're folding in upon themselves. And like they've swallowed this thing, they pull out a ring. Because of what Kristoff did. Kristoff and his brother, I'm not going to say his name, for concern that he will show up because he has a tendency to do that. And while I've caught one of them, I need to catch both of them. These are the reason that these rings exist. Because Father could no longer trust us. Any of us. Those of us who came before Kristoff were given a choice. We could take the ring, or we could be excommunicated from the family. And while I do not enjoy everything that Tiberius does, agree with it, such as he would have left Kristoff to his own devices. In fact, another thing I'll tell you that he doesn't need to know. He doesn't know Kristoff's here. Because I'm relatively sure his first request would be for me to let him go. His father has plans. Long, ancient plans. And they're wheels within wheels. But I have plans as well, and they're wheels within wheels. And sometimes they intersect, and sometimes, Charity, they do not. These rings, he's going to offer you one. I can't tell you what they do.
Why not?
Because the rings don't allow it. That being said, I'd like to introduce you to a few people. And he
As long
rings-
as they don't live in creepy books and like murder people, that's fine. But like, I see a whole row of books there, and now I'm a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, because that's creepy.
Anon gets up and they offer you their hand.
You're not gonna yell at me again, are you?
As long as you don't give me cause to be concerned about whether or not you're going to be possessed by a lich.
Well, as long as you don't give me a murder book, we won't have that problem now, will we?
The individual who gave me the wrong book, they and I will be having a very, very serious conversation. And you do have my sincerest and deepest apologies, younger sister. But that is between you and I.
Yeah, okay.
She'll take it. She'll take their hand.
They lead you out onto a little balcony and you can oversee this area. And it is the strangest thing you've ever seen. It's buildings that none of them look the same. They look like they've all been taken from different places and plopped down on kind of this sprawling coastline. There's a huge wall that surrounds the whole thing. There's multiple suns in the sky. He says, "This is the parish. This is my home. And this is where people come to me and ask to be conditioned to be exceptional at what they do. When people come here, they no longer have names. They give up their identity to train. They will wear masks of various types to protect their identities. The individuals who have come here to teach, they have done so either because they feel they can get something from me or that I can offer them something in return. It's rudimentarily based on Father's home. I'm going to introduce you to 4 people. Charity, when you meet them, you will not give them your name. Names imply power and authority. The only person here who gets to use a name is me. And you'll wear this. Anon reaches into their jacket and gives you like a tiny domino mask, like Robin style.
Rad.
You are simply known as Spell.
Okay, and I guess like cool.
This is very important. The students have numbers. You do not, because you are not a student. In my presence, you can refer to these instructors by their name. When not in my presence, you will refer to them by their titles.
Gotcha.
Anon rings another bell, and a couple students in different styles. Exactly, you're welcome. They come in wearing various masks. Like some of them have like masks that cover their whole face, and just one just looks like he has a burlap sack over his head. They're all wearing like different masks, and a couple of them, they come in and they remove some furniture and they bring in some big furniture and set it down. And then 4 individuals walk in. Make me first person walks in, make me a nature check, please.
Nature check. Okay. It's a 10. I'm rolling like garbage today.
So this person comes in and they are pretty large, are dressed in fine silks. They look like a tigerish version of a tabaxi, but their hands are turned the wrong way. They come in and they look at you oddly, and they look at Anon and they say, a pet? Or is this food? Is this a gift you're giving me, Anon? And Anon merely points at them and then points at the chair, and they sit down, kind of bored. They have a goblet that's given to them. They start to drink. The next person comes in, and it is possibly the most beautiful person you've ever seen. I would like you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Oh, it's a 5.
This is a tiefling, but it is like this tiefling is almost a perfect embodiment of beauty. They come in and they come up and they hug Anon and they get down on one knee and they look at you and there's what is your name? I would like you to make me another wisdom save.
That's a 6.
You need to get rid of those dice. New dice. Thank you.
You start to say your name, and Anon's hand goes over your mouth, and they look down at you like, and they look over at this person who goes, Takla Dog, this isn't a place for that. All you need to know is this young one's name is Spell. From now on, if you're going to glamour someone, don't do it here. We've talked about this before. And they kind of look and they're like, I can't help who I am. And they go and they sit loungingly on a divan across the room away from the table. Just, again, kind of above it all. Like, this is such a bother to be called to this. Finally, a hooded figure comes in, almost like they walk out of the shadow. Not finally, there's one after that. And all they do, you can just see their eyes. You can tell nothing else about them. They're tall, they're lithe, or lithe, I guess the word I'm looking for. But you can't tell for sure because there's so much clothing there. And they just nod, and then they take a seat at the table and cross their fingers like a steeple. Last but not least, there's 2 students walking and they're tossing knives into the air. And behind them is a woman, and she's yawning the whole time, catching and continuing to toss knives in the air with one hand in different ways. Behind her back, one point she catches one on her fingernail and then flips it back up. And by the time she's getting ready to sit down, there's no less than 15 knives in the air. And then with a flourish, she catches all of them in 2 hands, bends down in a deep bow, and catches the last one behind her back. She jumps up on the table and kicks her feet out away from the chair. And she goes, I'm bored with this already. Can we please move on? I've got kids to stab. And there we move back to the astral sea. So you guys are on top of this building, and you notice this isn't like a couple people anymore. This is a throng. This is a mob around the building. And in fact, they're actually starting to try to climb up one another to get there. They're like ants.
Akko is there anything on the roof aside from us and Dragon Poop? Okay. Akko is going to he's gonna take out his battle axe and he's going to just start axing the people who start climbing up. He's just like on sentry patrol on the roof.
Scritch is looking around and goes, here, I think, and hands Amulet and Twig daggers. Hard to climb on the roof if fingers are. And he scurries off, and he's just, as hands reach over the top, he's just almost like, ew, gross, cutting them. But he's this is as uncomfortable as you've seen him. His eyes are saucer plates inside of his hood and above his mask. He is very frightened.
If we look out, is there anything amidst the mob that looks different from a squidling or a person?
The squidlings have stopped at different intervals about 25 feet from the building, and they're all just pointing with one tentacle towards the building.
It's fine.
Where are the people with the Molotov cocktails?
They're standing about 10 feet away, and they're just currently just standing there.
Perfect. They're in dagger distance. I'm going to throw a dagger at one of the Molotov cocktails.
When you're going to throw a dagger, Scritch says, "Do not throw my dagger. They are expensive. It is
fine.
for the cutting, not the throwing."
I'll throw my dagger.
Okay. Thank you, small dog, a twig.
Dirty 20.
Right in the forehead. Dead as Dillinger. They just drop. And
Oh no, I want to hit the Molotov.
Oh, I was going to say the Molotov drops and explodes.
Okay, that works too.
But they're back further than the mob, so that person just immolates. And now there's the big fire.
That's one less Molotov cocktail, though.
Scritch runs over there where you're at as he's like running along the edge, cutting hands. He goes, "Ooh," and looks at you and yes, and gives you the little underneath the chin move, and then runs back, cutting at hands. Amulet, what are you doing?
How solid does this roof look?
I don't know, Amulet. How solid does the roof look?
I want to try to poke a hole for us to maybe get to the building below.
How are you going to poke said hole?
I mean, I can use the stabby end of my hoop pack.
Make me a attack. Don't roll under a 5, and then we'll do damage.
See if I can find like a soft spot. Maybe the poop is like sort of deteriorated some part of the roof or something.
Are you going to get in the middle of the poop and dig away?
Not in the middle, maybe like around the edge. Not climbing in the middle. Gross.
We're not going to be allowed back in the house. So.
Okay. I rolled a 17. What did you want?
Now I want you to roll me damage.
Oh, for like if I'm poking, right? That's my shank. Sorry, it's called my shank.
Phrasing?
Phrasing. 6.
You start to do damage to the roof. You think it might take a little bit, but you're chipping away into this roof.
Well, the other hope is maybe it sets out a fun alarm and Keska comes back.
Akko, what are you going to do now?
Akko is largely still Sparta kicking people off of the roof.
This is Safehouse!
And yeah, he's trying to get a sense of, I mean, he felt like the squidlings were mind controlling the people. So if that
do you want to take a moment to scan the area again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So is that like, should I make a perception?
Yes, please.
It's not bad. I forget what my perception is. I think it's +0. Yep. That's a 15.
You scan the area, and standing even further back from where the squidlings are, probably about 40 feet away, you see a small individual about the size of a gnome, wearing a high-collared cloak, standing in the shadows. You can barely see them, but your keen senses your keen adventuring senses allow you to catch a glimpse of them. They make an eye contact. They make an eye contact with you.
They make
an eye contact.
Jesus, what is wrong with me tonight? And you get a baleful glare back at you. I mean, it makes you very, very uncomfortable.
Akko.
Now, Akko, Twig, and Amulet, you're all going to make me acrobatic checks.
Okay.
24.
Twig, you roll out of the way.
15.
Akko, you barely roll out of the way.
15.
Amulet, you also barely roll out of the way. Let's see what happens to our good friend.
Good friend Skitch.
Oh no, I do not like this.
Like my life.
15 as well. DM
Hey!
also rolls out of the way as Molotov cocktails hit the roof.
Can
So
I
now there are areas that are on fire.
try to catch a Molotov cocktail?
I would have given Twig
Okay.
maybe that, but you just rolled what you needed.
Next time, try to catch one.
I'm sure everything's fine. It's fine. We'll come back to that. So back on the back at the parish, Anon introduces you as Spell. You are a personal guest of them at their home. This is Ragesh. He is the fire. Takladog, he is the face. And when Anon points to them, and you again feel the strange butterfly feeling in your stomach. Like, what? Why do you look special?
Charity's having like a reckoning and realizing that like
I didn't think I like girls. I think I like girls. I think that's happening.
Well, they're very androgynous. You're not sure if they're male or female. They're just overall like you're fancy.
Just intrigued.
This is Foolstead, the secret. The individual completely wrapped in their cloak just pulls the top of it down slightly. And this is Tara, and she is the knife. And the whole time he's talking, she's spinning a knife on her finger. And she's like blowing on it to keep it spinning.
That's so rad.
She looks down at you and she goes, "Catch." And she throws a knife at you. Make me an athletics check.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna be great. I know I got another D20 here somewhere. That would be a 5.
You're like, oh my gosh, knife come right to your head. And they reach down and grab it out of the air. They turn the hilt over and they hand it to you. And they look over at Tara and say, "They're 10.
Yeah, I'm 10.
Eyebrows raised, like very scoldingly. "I'm this many." And Tara goes, "No, fair enough." Spell is going to be with me for a short period of time before I make a return to Sigil. You will provide them all the same courtesies professionally as well as personally that you would do me in my home. If I hear otherwise, well, I don't think you want to find out. So, Takladog, Foolstead, Tara, you and I need to have a small conversation. Ragesh, please take the time to introduce yourself. And that thing you had asked me to handle for you, it's handled. You find yourself alone in the room with Ragesh, and they're looking at you very like when you go to the zoo and a big cat looks at you and you're like, this is uncomfortable. And they take a long sip out of their goblet and they say, well, Spell, you must be very special for Anon to leave you alone with me. If I know Anon well, and I do, that means they want something to be given to you that they cannot give. And since they have taken care of that small problem I had, what do you want?
What do I want?
Everything here is give and take. This is a free gift from Anon to you. So think very wisely about what you want.
Definitely not a book.
They kind of look like they don't understand what you mean. A book.
No, I said not a book. Definitely not a book, especially not a murder book. No murder books. Don't need murder books. Fill up on murder books. I think.
Their hands are like interlaced like this since their hands are backwards. It's like they're got their hands interlaced, but I can't even do it because they're completely
Creepy.
backwards.
I think I want to get stronger. Yeah. Definitely want to get stronger. I want to get better at what I do. Because you see, I used to go to this place and it was really cool. And there was this guy named Thaddeus. He was a jerk. We're not going to really talk about him a whole lot. But like, I learned a lot of stuff when I was there. And like, yeah, I mean, sure, I might have blown up the library once or twice, but like, that's a minor thing, right? It's like, it's not a big deal.
Stronger. Not what I expected.
Smarter and stronger. Like, not just like strong, not my thing, but like, I want to learn more.
Ragesh pulls out a bell and rings it, and a couple students come in with a big hookah. They sit it down, and Ragesh ushers them out and fires at the hookah and sits for a while thinking and kind of looking at you, and takes a few long pulls off that and blows massive smoke rings up in the air. Make me a perception check of the smoke rings.
That's going to be a 18.
You see things in the smoke rings. You see legions of evil looking things on two sides battling across a blasted wasteland. Fires and screaming and just looks like massive war. Ragesh finally stops for a little bit and now I'm assuming, and again, this is a gift. So I'm asking currently for nothing in return. I'm assuming this isn't something you want in something that can be taken from you. This is something you want to be permanent.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta get stronger. Otherwise, if I don't get better at what I do, I can't go back home and I can't make things right.
When you say that, a massive Cheshire cat grin comes over Ragesh's face and they lean forward, smoke kind of slowly billowing out of both sides of their mouth, and they say, "Where is home, Spell? Where do you come from?"
Someplace you don't need to know about.
Oh, is that any way to treat a friend?
It's a way to treat somebody that I've been told don't say nothing and I'm not stupid. Why does everybody think I'm so stupid?
I don't think you're stupid at all because you've asked for what I would ask for. There are very few things in this entire multiverse more tantalizing than true power, mentally and physically. It puts you in a position to not owe people. It puts you in a position to take what you need when you need it. It puts you in a position, Spell, to do things like this, like your friend Anon has done. I can grant you this. Everything has a cost.
I thought it was a gift.
It is a gift, but I can't produce that sort of magic on a whim. If I give you this, it will cost you a year of your life.
Okay.
They smile again massively. They lean back and they inhale a massive amount from the hookah and they start making various arcane gestures in the air. And this seems to go on interminably long. And when they blow the smoke out, it's not smoke. It's more like a cloud of sparkling blue vapor, and it washes over you. When you open your eyes, because to block your eyes out from The vapor, when you open them back up, you look down, you are a year older. You are now 4th level, Charity.
Whoa. Okay.
You also have 2 additional attribute points to spend beyond the ones you'll get at 4th.
Okay.
But you have lost an entire year of your life.
Oh my god.
Ragesh looks very tired all of a sudden. Spells like that, they are exhausting. However, I feel like this was done for a purpose. I do enjoy a good purpose. I'm going to give you something, spell. Because I feel like you and I, well, let's put it this way. If you're friends with Anon, then I feel you would be someone that I should be friendly with as well. And they reach in their pocket and they pull out a button. And they reach with their giant paws and huge nails, and they pick one of your buttons off. And they very agilely, very tenderly put the button in its place. And then they cast a spell on the button to mend it directly into your clothes. Spell. Should you ever need to speak to me, to see me, my help, maybe you want more power, tear that button off and toss it to the ground. I don't live here. I'm here often, but that will take you to where my home is. Then I will abscond there and we can have a chat about why it is you have asked to have a conversation. Does that sound equitable to you?
I don't know what that word means, but sure.
Excellent. I'm thinking that that's not what Anon wanted you to do with your gift. And they smile again, ear to ear. And we go back to the Astral Sea.
Hi, Minty.
So now the building's on fire at the top, and they're still crawling up there. Scritch is putting out fire on his cloak, going, "It's so burny, it hurts so much. I will need new boots. I will steal them."
The fire should make it easier to poke through the ceiling, right?
You can make that action.
Akko. Oh yeah, you're.
Akko and Twig, what are you doing as well?
Akko is busy fashioning a lasso out of his 50 feet of rope.
Okay. Amulet, what did you get?
14.
Roll your damage. Twig, what are you doing?
Is the fire being put out by Skitch, or does he need help?
He's putting the fire out on his cloak currently.
Oh, but not on the roof. Great.
No.
Can I take out my bedroll from my pack and try to like put out the flames?
Yeah, it's a good idea. Do you have inspiration?
I don't.
You do now. That's a really cool
Excellent.
idea. Make me an acrobatics check for that.
Wonderful. Not wonderful. I'm just gonna go ahead and use that inspiration because I don't think that's gonna do it.
Could ask too, but
It was 13, 16.
yeah, 13 would have done it.
All right.
Keep your inspiration. I just wanted to 10 or above.
Excellent.
Yeah, you're like beating the fire out. One thing I want you all to realize is no one is keeping people from climbing up right now. So I would like you all to roll a d6, and we're going to add that together. What'd you do for damage, by the way, Amulet? 5?
5.
There's a massive crack in the ceiling now.
Rolled a 3.
I
Five.
rolled 6.
No.
11.
Twig.
Yeah, I know.
Good, great roll. There
Oh.
are 11 people on the roof with you now.
So I think like as part of what Akko is going to do, like I don't think it'll take him that he knows how to make a lasso. It's not going to take him that long.
I'll say it's like a bonus action.
Okay, then with his action, he wants to lasso that little Nomi dude.
That's a long ways away. Do you have that as a proficient skill there, cowboy?
I don't know what's lassoing.
And a lasso is actually a weapon.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
He's proficient with martial and simple weapons in all
he's
armor,
lassos.
and he's a hunter.
I will say you get a +1, but it's your base because it's also at it's 50 feet, so it's going to be really difficult.
That's okay. So plus just a straight roll +1.
Yep, straight roll +1.
I'm gonna get that guy. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Just chuck it across the room. It's worked for me so far.
That's a 19.
You lasso, you're like, no. You launch that thing, and it's almost like everyone stops just to look, like stunned, like, what are you doing? As these 11 thralled beings are now on the roof as well. Make me a perception check, Amulet.
Oh, I like that number. That's a dirty 20.
Like, as you stop, you also hear a noise, and you look down, and the floor is cracking all the way out because there's so much weight now on the roof. But not a spot. The whole floor.
This will be fine.
Scritch stops putting his bottom of his thing out, and he's just watching that. He goes, "Oh no, Twig, what are you doing during this moment of amazement?"
During this moment of, oh shit, the ceiling's collapsing.
It's gonna collapse. Actually, make me a perception check to see if you even noticed that. I'm saying everybody's amazed because Akko just launched a lasso 50 feet in the air.
That was pretty amazing. I also did roll an 18, so I'm assuming I also noticed.
Yeah, you also look down and just see cracks starting to form underneath you, and you're like, "Oh no."
Can I stab some thralls on my way to the edge of the roof?
Yes, you can.
Excellent.
Akko, while you do that, Twig, Akko, your lasso lands around, and I'm assuming you pull taut as it lands, and you jerk. And I need you to all make me dexterity saving throws. And Twig, you can make that at advantage, please.
All right.
Ooh, I got danger sense. I can do this at advantage too. I see it coming.
Dex save 18.
21.
16. That was close.
That's that was the wrong dice for poor Skitch. I'm not rolling on a D12.
Please don't.
Boone? Was that you, buddy?
Yeah. I is on fire! Need to burn! There is poop everywhere. Oh, 19. You all fall. The ceiling just crashes in. So in the middle of the crash site is fire, bodies, and dragon poop, which is now also starting to burn.
That scene.
Did I kill any thralls before I fell? I rolled a natural 20.
Roll me a D4. Nate's exasperation is all the joy.
2.
2 die.
Excellent.
Roll me another D4. Each of you roll me a D4.
1.
3.
2.
6 more die in the fall, fire, drowning, and feces. You choose.
A little bit of everything.
Choice.
Just a sampler
dealer's
platter.
choice.
It's a flight.
So that leaves 3 inside.
Skitch is literally in a boarded up window alcove, like staying off the floor. And he's like, "Oh no, this is terrible. This is the worst thing ever. Worse than One Night King tried to eat Skitch. Why?
Oh.
Also hear the galloping again.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Excellent.
Akko, also, the thing you lassoed slammed into the side of the building. It is
Great.
now literally hung up on the sea, up over the ledge.
Great. He is super
So I
stoked
want
about
you to
that.
roll me a d10 worth of damage for the massive, like, dragging of this thing across.
We're such a good team.
Add your
just
strength.
So
to it.
good.
11.
You did 11 points of
11 points of lasso damage.
bludgeoning lasso damage as he slams up, or it slams up against the wall extremely hard. The room is burning. You can see there's some personal effects in here. Not a lot. It's very Spartan and now covered in dragon feces. There's bodies on the floor. We did let the bodies hit the floor. And now they're on fire or covered in goop. So there are 3 people in there with you. What would you like to do?
Who are you talking to?
All of you 3.
Oh,
Well-
if there's 3 left, we're on the ground and there's nothing else. Is anything coming out to attack us, being that the roof collapsed?
Oh, they're still trying to climb over the top.
Okay, well, I'll try to attack. I got 1 rage left, so I can rage and attack whoever's closest.
Okay, you can all 3 get your attacks off first, though.
Okay.
All right.
Akko is actually going to
Take your inspiration, Charity.
Akko is going to like pull the rope taut, and he's going to try to jump back on and get a he's going to sort of, because there's like some sort of ledge left. It's not, so he's going to try to like get sort of back up so he can see the his prey, if you will. And when he gets to the top, or actually, that's like athletics, right? To try to, okay. Yeah, that's 18.
Yep, you were able to, like, you get a running start and literally just foot up to the top and kind of land with the rope wrapped around your arm. That's holding your axe, and you kind of get up to that area and you look down and it's just this gnome-sized, very more proportionate squidling in this, and they look at you, and I want you
Uh-oh.
to want me. You need to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh.
Painful one.
Brother. Whew. I rolled pretty well. I'll add my intelligence save bonus of -1. And that's a 16.
Oh, you made it!
I was like, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Nice.
Whew.
So you like get mind blasted, but when you get hit, like you are almost like you're falling backwards, and it's almost like you feel a set of hands holding you gently
Aw.
from falling. And then you look down in a murderous rage, and there is the gnome Ceremorph,
So
just trying to Charles Xavier you with his brain.
so
And there's a wall of thralls like climbing up into this burning structure.
so Akko would like to now or never.
Before you do that,
Oh yeah.
Amulet, Twig, what are you doing? Scritch is going to attack one of them. So you're going to attack the other 2?
Yeah. I got
Okay.
a 22.
That hits.
21.
That hits.
8 damage.
12.
Dead. Scritch got a 14, which hits. He killed him. I want you to both make perception checks, please.
Oh, that's not
So close to a natural 20. 6.
7.
You're both like knee deep literally in the shit, so you don't notice anything. Akko, you're on top. You get to see it. You see the chariot come out of the portal, being pulled by by the massive zombie goats, but it just kind of sits on the outside of the throng, and you see Calorel just watching.
Akko will
Now do your deed.
Akko is gonna take a look over at Calorel, and then he's going to like reach down and he's going to grab the part of the rope that's around the Ceremorph. He's going to slide it up so it's around its neck. And then he's going to pull it tight. And then he's going to jump back down to the floor.
Whoa! Okay, if you don't have an inspiration, you have an inspiration now. That is brutally awesome. Make me an athletics check first for just the, and it's super easy because you're very strong.
Yeah, it's 17.
This person doesn't weigh very much, so you like gank it up and pull. Are you gonna do like the Nesty plunge backwards?
Sure. Yeah.
Make me an acrobatics check.
15.
So you are holding the Ceremorph. It's looking at you with this just hateful glaze. Its head is a little smashed from hitting the wall. And one of its eyes is already kind of puffy. Its face tentacles kind of reaching out for you in a frantic manner, and you just let go of the rope and fall backwards. It drops as you drop, and then you hit the floor in a superhero crouch, and you feel the rope go taut. Roll me a 20-sided dice. Bless you.
Thank you.
Decent 16.
You know you did a bunch of damage there, but this thing's still wriggling on the other end. All right, back over to the parish. You know, Spell, I don't really think that's what Anon wished you to use your favor on, but I'm more than happy to have been able to give you that. I will say seeking power above truth is definitely a attribute I admire greatly. So again, feel free to reach out to me should you ever have need. I think we could be very successful in any endeavors we choose to work on together.
Here's the thing, though, my great big fuzzy friend.
Again, the big cat smile.
I don't need to ask for truth, because here's the thing. Everything I do is honest. Everything I do has honesty behind it. So I don't need to ask for truth. I don't need to, because eventually I'm going to figure it out. It's what I do.
He gets up and stretches like a cat stretches and looks down at you and chuckles and says, "Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about all the liars in your midst." And then just walks away laughing.
Whatever.
A couple minutes pass, and then Anon comes in with a plate of food, sits it down, and they look at you and say, "So now, do you know everything you wanted to know?"
Yeah, I think I do.
They look at you and say, "Charity, what have you done?"
The right thing.
Well, eat up. We're traveling soon.
Okay. It's not gonna like jump out and like bite me. There's no like weird creepy things in the food or nothing. I just gotta make sure, because like still on edge from the murder book.
Well, and here is a replacement. And again, my apologies. And as you both sit down, and they have something small to eat as well. Your chairs get up and they move you over to an overlook of the parish itself. And you can see just how wonky this place looks. This is like a Roald Dahl version of a D&D setting. It's just bizarre. You see buildings, some of them look like they would be from Sigil. Some of them remind you actually of home, but others are like some of them just like looks like huts. And one looks like it's just completely made of glass. It's just a very, very eclectic, bizarre, like someone just threw buildings down and they just happened to stay where they landed. There appears the roads kind of look like they're moving on their own, as well as there's a large body of water that beyond the one outside the wall, there's like almost like a small lake that seems to be moving itself throughout. Like it moves almost like when you see like a slug move very slowly but deliberately, it is changing where it is supposed to be. Anon looks at you and they say, I always find this view relaxing because, Charity, the only constant that you and I will ever deal with will be change.
I mean, I'm kind of used to change in a way. I mean, everything changes around me. I mean,
Make me an insight check.
So, ooh, that is a 18.
For maybe you've seen Anon now angry. This is the first time you've seen them concerned, like outwardly concerned. Our siblings are gathering. Tiberius was horribly injured in the attempt on Brylan's life. The whatever saved all of you and took him with you, because unless he was disintegrated in the blast, Tiberius took the brunt of that. And as old and as powerful as he is, not being prepared for that has left him in a state.
what do you mean?
Hurt. Probably more hurt than any of us have seen him.
Well, I mean, if he's hurt, you can fix it, right? Like that's what science does. You can make something, or you can do something, or science and magic can work together. I've seen it do really amazing things.
Did you get your questions answered by Ragesh? Did you ask about the rings? Did you ask about Tiberius?
He didn't really give me a chance to.
Anon kind of looks slightly puzzled. I assumed that would be the favor, would be Ragesh telling you what I can't tell you.
Yeah, about that.
Anon looks you up and down again and kind of sighs.
He didn't put it that way. It's not my fault. He was like, hey, yo, I'm a big kitty person. I'm going to give you a gift. And I wasn't thinking it was like that. He was like, I need to like give you a gift or something. And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, what do you want? And I'm like, well, I got to like help people. So the only way I'm going to help people is if I get stronger. Like it made sense to me. I didn't know that it was the ring. You should have just said that it was the ring. If I had asked questions about the ring, I would have just asked questions about the ring.
Charity, if I could tell you, I would have. Remember when I talked earlier about how you have things that your siblings do not have?
Yeah.
Do you know one thing that they have that you do not possess currently? Twig plans. Poorly, but he plans. Amulet looks at everything through the eyes of an optimist, which is good and bad. And as I said before, Akko needing to master more of his primal self, Akko is confident. Akko always thinks Akko is right. You lack currently foresight.
God, you sound like Thaddeus.
I am here to give you that because I see greatness. But greatness cannot be impetuous. And Anon looks you up and down and gestures with their hands, and it can't be bought and sold. Time cannot be bought and sold. I have an idea what's been done. I can't undo that. That's not what I do. I don't wish for you to feel I'm dressing you down about it because I'm not. At my time, my age, I would have done the exact same thing.
I have to. If I don't, no one's going to be able to save her.
I don't know if you'll ever be able to get back to where you want to go.
I'm gonna get back.
That is the drive you should harness to figure out everything that's in front of you currently. Charity, do you play dragon chess?
I don't even know what that is.
The next time you come, we'll sit down and we'll play. It's a game about having foresight. It's a game about thinking steps ahead. What happened here today is you thought steps ahead, but you didn't realize you're playing two games at the same time. One game is important to you because it's the memory of what was, correct?
Yeah.
You're missing the severity of the game you're playing because it's what is right now.
I don't want to play a game. I just want to go home.
Life is a game. Even going home is a game. Everything, you have to look at it that way, and you have to think about how you can go and work through this, work through it. You wish to go home. Well, then let's get you home. Let's make sure you can visit home. Is that something we can agree upon?
Yeah, I think so.
Then we've come to an accord. My request for your request of me is to get you home. And I'll do so. It may take some time, but if we've learned nothing else, I can call in a lot of favors. I need from you is I need you to concentrating on figure out the board of the game you're playing right now, because I can't help you in that respect. I can't protect you, and I can't give you information there. Does that make sense?
I think so.
If Tiberius is in as bad a shape as I've been led to believe, that will change a lot of things. So, as your friend, we have to be diligent in looking out for one another. Not all of our siblings are like us. Some of them, and he gestures towards the door where the library is, they just haven't done it yet. Some of them are just waiting for an opportunity. There's many of us, and we're across every spectrum. And I think you've met, what, 4 of us, 5 of us? Your family's large, and every family has black sheep. Ours just happens to be made up of mini black sheep. And they lean back and kind of straighten their collar and they say, just like you and I. Now we go back to the Astral Sea. Akko, you're strangling a Ceremorph.
Yes.
Yes. There are people climbing over the walls. Amulet, Twig, what are you doing? Akko, you can hold this person with one arm. They're relatively light compared to you.
Mm-hmm. Akko isn't going to do that, though. Akko is going to yank on the lasso as hard as he can to bring the Ceremorph flying over the roof hole and down to the floor.
Make me an athletics check.
19.
This poor guy is just getting mercilessly yo-yoed around. You roll me a d10 and then add your
Poor
strength.
guy, he's trying to kill us.
Right?
That's plus strength. It's 10.
You slam this gnome Ceremorph, you jerk, and it comes over the top, like grabbing at its neck, and then you just pull. And
Great.
you curtain jerk this guy down to the ground with a splat. Still there.
Is that by action?
That is your action.
Action surge. I'm gonna cut him up with my. I'm gonna chop him in half with my axe.
All right.
That's yeah, it'll hit. That's 21 to hit.
That hits.
That's is it D8? Yes. Let's go max damage. Ooh, close to max damage. 14.
It's still there, but it puts an arm up to block your axe and move its head back, and you shear one of its arms clean off.
Well, I recognize what he's doing, so I'm gonna run over and try to drive my shankin into the back of his spine.
Okay, Twig, what are
Alright.
you doing right now?
Well, if
What
there's anything
murdering
left,
are you doing?
I'm gonna murder it too. Then I'll go around it and stab the hell out of it.
That's what Scritch is doing as well. So much murdering.
23.
That hits. Gee,
21.
that hits as well. Roll some damage.
8. I assume I get sneak attack.
You,
Yeah.
yeah, you do.
That's 11 total for me.
And for me.
And Scritch stabs it, but it's dead. It was dead before that. And he's like, killed. It is dead. Killed. It's all dead now. Loot. And Scritch leans down and picks this thing up out of its limp hand that looks sort of like a crossbow, but has no like bow end of it.
Akko, like when he tries, Akko like yanks it away on the lasso. It's like mine.
A big dog Akko, no, you know, use the shooty.
Mine.
Fine, yours. But I am keeping the belt. The outside there is like all of a sudden a stop. Like dead silence. And then then the screaming starts.
Are there windows at the front of the building?
It's all boarded up.
Okay.
Is there anything around in the it collapsed the roof, but like assuming there was an interior in here, what kind of room was this?
It was just a big open space with like a cot.
Okay.
Yeah, there's dragon poop fire. And corpses.
I just was wondering if there was like furniture or something, didn't know.
That goes on for about 30 seconds, and then you see Dresk fly overhead.
He pulls his axe out of the seat of
He looks down at you with, and again, I need you two to make
we have to
savings throws.
Okay.
Oh, and And Scritch is terrified. Oh no, we wrecked house, poop everywhere. There is fire, no one left to kill. Dragon is super mad.
I'm nonplussed, so I take my shank in and wipe it off on the dead corpse's clothing.
I rolled a 17.
You are not dragon feared this time.
If we didn't get dragon
Kill that
feared
guy.
last time, can we be dragon feared again?
No, you're good because with this dragon.
Excellent.
And then you just like Dresk floats up, inhales, and a huge gout of fire erupts out into the street in front of the safe house. A few minutes pass and the screaming stops.
Hmm.
And then the door falls down. And Keska is wiping her blade off. And she looks down and sees the Ceremorph dead at your feet. And her smile is immediate. She says, "My crush."
I point at the Ceremorphin and go, he did it.
Who claims the skull? And we go
Mine.
back to the parish. So you're sitting there and for a little while quietly eating and watching these students kind of skulking around and trying to get into certain buildings, and some successful, some not successful. One building you figure out very quickly is a mimic, as it swallows two people that are trying to go through the window. And Anon chuckles at that. He leans over and he says, "Charity, would this be somewhere you would want to come and spend time?"
I think so. Like, it kind of reminds me of home in a weird way. I know that sounds stupid, but
It doesn't. This reminds me of my home.
is this one of those things where if I come, I'm gonna get in trouble?
No, not at all. I will talk to Tiberius. And I will talk to hold on one second because I need the names and I can't remember them.
Always fun.
This is what happens when you have to make a giant family tree.
Yep.
I will talk to my brothers, Billis and Luminal. And between the three of us, I'm sure Tiberius will be very understanding should the worst take place. Otherwise, this is somewhere where you should feel like you can visit. I don't want you to think that all of your siblings are as duplicitous as I can be, as insane as Christoph, as self-righteous as Brylan, as unpredictable as Norhand. There's a lot of us, and we all lie in different areas because we're all individuals. So when we see ourselves and others who have arrived at this place in our lives, we were found and given a home, we tend to latch on to that. Because I know how we come together. And I hope someday you'll figure that out as well. And that can be a heavy burden to bear, as well as a great thing to know just how important you are to the grand design of things. So before we leave, I do want to ask you one thing, and you don't need to tell me if you don't want to. How did you all get away from the explosion?
I don't really remember. It was like there was like it was like boom, and then there was like light, and then it was like we were someplace different. It was weird.
Did you go and see the Oracle?
Oh, yeah. Creepy lady had to blindfold.
She's extremely nice.
No, she was really, really nice. Yeah.
Did she tell you anything about yourselves?
I'm like legit trying to remember because it was weeks ago.
She didn't tell you about your birthmarks.
Yes.
Yeah, she did a thing with this like mark on my back. It was like back here, and like 3 of us had them, and they got all glowy, and like Tawny seemed really happy about it. He was like, "Woo, this is cool." And then it got to Akko, like his didn't work, and Tawny got real sad and it was bad. And then we left and we went outside and there was this like, whoo, and there was like stuff happening. And it was like, "Rrr, rrr," and there were things and like things got exploding and Akko got real hurt. It was real bad. I was real worried. And then like, poof, we're in this weird, stupid place with like tentacle. Oh my God, I hope they're okay. That's
At that moment, you look at Anon and their eyes get really big, like, oh shit, I kind of forgot about them. Like, oh no. And at that point, I want you to make a charisma saving throw.
Ooh, okay. Oh. It's a 14.
You are overwhelmed. Like being frightened, but you don't feel like running away. You're just awed. The sky opens up and a being of pure light steps out and with large glowing wings floats down and speaks in a language you do not know. I do not think you speak Supernal.
No.
And every other game.
Even Anon, they cover their eyes a little bit. And make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Ah. Damn it. 7.
You can't understand even once it changes back to common because you're just so like this is so much. And you do hear finally Anon says, "You can stop the light show." And the lights peel back and you see a very plain looking young man who still has a glow about him, still has kind of wings made of light, comes down and stands like on the railing of the balcony you're on. And very softly he says, "I've done all I can. I'm not sure. I think this is even beyond what I can do now. We should go see him now." And they kind of look like they're thinking for a second. Takes a deep breath. They look over at you. "Charity, this is my brother Luminal." And Luminal bends down and bows to you.
Hi.
He says, "Hello. It's good to meet you. We are siblings, you and I."
Okay.
Has the effect is slowly fading because they've kind of pulled that,
Toned it down, yeah.
toned it way down. You know that is something we can't talk about. And they look at Anon, and Anon says, yes, she knows she can't talk about us being the first children. And just smiles like the nicest smile you've ever seen. and says, "That's very good. I do not know if all of them would understand. But we should go see Father before things change."
I don't like the sound of that.
All things change. I am not saying that Father will be passing. I do not think that he is. But he has sustained incredible incredible injury. Father is reticent to go home where he could heal. I can say no more than that. That puts us in a position where I am unsure what will happen next. He is afraid to leave. Sorry. He is afraid to leave Sigil and to go home. Back at the Astral Sea, Keska, you say that's yours, Akko?
Mine.
Mine.
Akko hunt. Akko find. Akko catch. Akko kill.
She looks at you and
Mine.
she says, Akko Kretch. We are Kretch now. All of us. And she looks at Sketch just kind of like with this very like not liking that fact. She says, "Where was Dresk during all of this?" And she looks at her safe house. And then she sees her malediction on the wall and she grabs it, pulls it down, and slips it into a bag.
Press fly away. Coward.
She smiles, just smiles hugely, and she says, "Ah, maybe not coward, maybe jealous."
Probably.
She walks up to you and she puts her hand on your shoulder. She says, "My little brother, great hunter. Your axe not good enough for great hunter. I find you better axe."
Oh, that goes like, hell yeah.
She looks
As much as a
down.
Knoll can say hell yeah. Visually.
At this point, while she's doing this, Scritch is trying to get his daggers back from Amulet and Twig, and like also never taking his eyes off of Keska because he knows she fucking hates him. She looks over at Amulet and looks around at the ceiling. She looks at your shank at the bottom. "Little sister, did you break my ceiling?
I mean,
And why is there dress poop everywhere?"
there was dress poop all over your roof. It was gross, and we needed to get away. I'm sorry.
I think dress does not like you.
He's kind of a jerk.
It doesn't matter because we are all Kresk now. You have responsibility as Kresh. We are family within the family.
Sorry about your roof.
Merely Safehouse does not matter. When we leave, Dresk burn to ground.
We should probably be far away because it really kind of stinks.
She kind of, for a second, she looks, "Whose friend is outside on dead goats?"
Forgot.
Scritch runs outside. He runs outside. He's like looking for anything he can loot. And you see Calorel leaning on one of the zombie goats, just fingers tapping away as one of the bodies gets up. It's on fire and starts pulling up bodies and pulling them out of the fire into a pile. He looks at the four of you and then looks at Keska. She just looks back at him like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he goes, "Well, that was fast. So, what is this going to cost me?" Scritch is like behind your leg, Akko, and he's like pulling you down. Ask for 1,000 gold. It is a lot of bodies, and we make good kill. 1,000. Ask for 1,000 gold. Lots of gold. What is worse? Can say no?
Sketch say 1,000 gold.
He looks at you like, you son of a bitch. Calorel, like, they pull their helmet off. And they, again, whenever they pull their helmet off, it goes from that very masculine, kind of frightening countenance to a very relaxed, almost feminine form. And they say, 1,000 gold. Well, that seems very fair. There is 70 bodies here. I don't think I'll be needing any of the Ceremorphs or the Squidlings. I can tell by your Githyanki friend that I'm probably not welcome to them. I will pay you 1,000 gold total. But also, as a representation of our burgeoning relationship, I would like to give you each something. Kellera moves their robe back. They bring a small bag out and they hand it to Amulet. Amulet, you open it up and it's full of bones.
Thanks, I guess.
Stritch moves right over to where you are and looks and he goes, "Oh, you get good stuff, tiny, somewhat attractive halfling girl." Angry friend.
I'll take that.
Kellerell looks at you and says, "Those are bones of those who could no longer serve the purpose. If you throw a bone to the ground, it will manifest a skeletal servant. Once you're out of bones, however, it'll be up to you to refill the bag. Return the bag to me if you'd like more." They make their way over to Twig. Kellerell slides back on one of their heavy gauntlets, and they reach in and they pull something out and they drop it in your hands. And almost like you can, their gauntlet is even like steaming from holding it. This will protect you from the undead.
What is it?
It is something I took off of an unbeliever. Make me a religion check, please, Twig.
That's not going to go well. Oh, 18.
It's a holy symbol. And it is glowing. The minute it goes in your hands, any of the undead that were around picking up bodies and moving them to the cart, they just move away from you. Like they can't bear to be within 20 feet of you.
Do I recognize whose holy symbol it is?
Yeah, it's Torm.
Okay. So it's a white gauntlet sort of thing. Yeah.
Akko, Kellero looks at you, like comes up face to face with you and kind of walks around you for a second. You are the most difficult person for me to give a gift to. You take no offense to this, but you have no subtlety, nor do you practice any arcane art. You are your own instrument. So, what I'm giving you is something to improve that. Kellerell pulls out a ring by taking it off of one of their gauntleted fingers and drops it in your hand.
What do?
This will give you strength. It has served me well, but it no longer serves a purpose for me. I hope that it serves a purpose for you, Akko of Sigil. Keska comes up and kind of has her hand on the hilt of her sword, just looking at Kellerell up and down. She
Akko
says,
like turns to Keska. He's like, he fine. Garbage man.
Kellerell looks at you and says, I like to think of myself more as a procurer of, looks at all the bodies around, things that are no longer needed. Dresk, Dresk lands in full dragon form behind all of you and roars. And Casca kind of gives a hand signal and he polymorphs back down into a dragonborn. And she looks and she says, Garbage man, I would be prepared to leave soon because when we leave, I'm going to burn this place to ground. Fair enough. He looks past her. He looks past her, or they look past her. God, I can't talk tonight. And say, I hope that we will see one another again soon. And more of the dead get up and start putting the rest of the dead on the cart. It takes about 5 or 6 minutes. Kellerell gives you a bow. They step onto the cart. And again, a portal opens like a boom tube and those zombie goats go roaring through there. Keska looks down at you three and Skitch a little less hatefully. Says, I cannot take you anywhere. And smiles hugely. Then she walks over and you can hear her, but you can't understand the language. Dress down Dresk. After about 10 minutes, Dresk walks over and he looks at all four of you and says, apparently we're starting all over again. I make one simple request. Do not attempt to steer your, and then it's like he has to fight the words out, older sister from her path. If you don't do that, then we are crush. Agreed?
Sounds good. Want a drink? And I hand him the stein.
He looks like doesn't want to, and then he kind of shrugs and his shoulders kind of go away from like hulking mass to kind of relaxed and pours back the drink. And that's about the time you see a massive galleon fly up and around over where you're at, and a rope comes down, and Norhand looks down over the rope. She's, I heard you guys need a lift. And Keska screams like a schoolgirl, for sister! We'll go back lastly to the parish.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah, of course.
So they grab a rope and climb up or whatever. Like as Akko like grabs the rope, he like looks at Dresk and he says, just look kind of that like
I'm watching you.
And he's like, he says, next time meet, we see who food.
Dresk looks at you at first like very angrily and then just starts to laugh. And he goes, maybe I misjudged you.
After Akko walks away, I go up to Dresk and I put my hand in as a shake it, and I was like, see you later, buddy, and I walk off.
He looks at you and he looks at Twig and he goes, I'm going the same place you're going.
Okay, come on.
He hands you back your mug and he looks at Akko and he looks at Amulet and then he looks at Twig and says, I hate children. And Skitch isn't standing there with Twig and he goes, Tiny dog Skitch, we make 1,000 gold. Scritch, 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 and then scritches below the chin. So now we go back to the parish. So they're standing there and they're talking. Luminol and Anon are talking in Supernal again for a moment. And when you hear them talking that, it's almost like looking at Luminol. It's just the sound is overwhelming, even though they're whispering. And they stop. And Anon, just shaking their head, walks over to you and says, apparently your siblings are with Keska. Oh God. Norhan found them. They're headed back now. Luminal's going to take us directly there. Were you? Akko does have a laser gun.
It's fine.
Did you meet Keska?
I don't think so.
Good. That's where we'll end the session. So I'd like everybody else to go around and I'll do something a little different tonight. Tell them what your favorite part of the session was tonight and where they can find you. Twig, sir.
All right, well, I will start. You can find me at Cubicle Zombie on Twitter and Instagram. Also at DNDDT Podcast every Tuesday. It's Tasty Tuesday. You can find a download there with Warrior and myself and a couple other friends. My favorite part of the night was probably with Charity and Anon. The whole deal got a little verklempt there. Did not like the Rakshasa. Those things are creepy.
Good to know.
Shit.
You said too much.
Charity.
You can find me on all the places at Smarky Batch with an E, not an I. Follow me on TikTok because all throughout December, I'm doing a series called D in December, and I'm answering all sorts of questions about D&D, how to get started, questions about if you're curious about how to DM, if you're curious about how to start as a player. Come on TikTok, give me questions. I will give you my knowledge because I've been doing this crap since 1996. I'm old.
No, you're not.
I'm too old for that platform. It's fine. My favorite part tonight.
You're using that platform for good.
I am using it for good and also for stupid cosplay crap, but it's all good.
There is never any stupid cosplay crap.
Yeah, my favorite part tonight was getting to delve a little bit more into like some of Charity's background and side story. She's probably one of my favorite characters I've ever created in my like 20 plus years of playing. So that was super fun. I did not expect to get as emotional as it did, but like, I'm here when that stuff happens organically. So that was super awesome. Also, like just dragon poop everywhere. It's so much poop.
So much
poop.
Such a bizarre, like high-low episode of emotional state. I'm gonna lasso a guy from 50 feet away and then like crying, I just want to go home. I was like, oh God, my heart is like going two different directions. Yeah, thank you. Like seriously, thank you guys. Akko. No.
No. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at WarriorMN. Do check out DNDDT featuring the one and only Tasty Boys. Tasty Boys. On Tuesdays. This week it's episode 99, and then next week episode 100.
That's a big one.
Part 1. So get into it. On top of that, you can also check out dndt.com a day or two after every episode drops for DN observations as well as DN Deets. We tabulate all the like fun stats stuff that happens. It's cool. It's fun. It's a good time. And this Thursday, you can come hang out with, at the very least, me and the Beard and Ref Clark Feldman on Dive Club. We were Thirsty Thursdays. That's back on twitch.tv/Shields Radio. Favorite thing? I don't know. The charity stuff was great. I feel like everyone's already said that. So I really enjoyed wrangling that Ceremorph. That was real fun. Just I feel like
that is one of the single craziest things. I've been playing D&D since I was in grade school. Original white box. So that was one of like literally. That is top 5 favorite bizarre weapon makeup. Like I'm gonna kill this guy with a rope. Well, how far away? He's 50 feet away. I have a 50-foot.
I got 50 feet rope. Long arms. So that was super cool because it was fun to at level like 1 and 2. It's like just to do something like kind of fun and out of the box was super cool.
You 3 are also now level 3.
Oh snap! That's a big level. Right. And I got a laser gun, so that's cool. What could go wrong? No with a laser gun.
All I can think of is I can't remember what the old module is. It's an advanced Dungeons and Dragons module. It's one of my favorite covers everywhere. It's like a wizard, a fighter, and a ranger, and one of them has a laser gun, and they're shooting bullywugs off of a wooden walkway in a swamp. And I remember seeing that as a kid.
That's amazing.
I need more of this in my life.
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
There's a wizard and there's a dude with a laser.
Amazing.
Can't go wrong.
Remember is it maybe In Search of the Unknown? I can't remember what that module is, but that cover is gold.
That sounds amazing. I'm gonna have to look for that. I feel like I've heard people talk about that. Maybe it was like Matt Mercer or somebody like in interviews, like talking about that cover specifically for sure.
Probably.
And having that very like similar reaction of like, this is the coolest thing.
That's like the first time I played Expedition to the Barrier Reef.
Mm-hmm.
No, Barrier Peaks. What Barrier Reef? What the hell am I talking about?
I don't know. At D&D, that sounds cool.
Expedition to the Barrier
Go harvest some coral.
And after about like 4 sessions, I figured out, oh, we're in a crashed spaceship. We're in a crashed spaceship? And my young, like 13-year-old brain melted. And that's why it's my favorite adventure of all time.
That's cool. Is it an illithid spaceship?
No, but
okay.
There's no.
I was going to say, like, this explains a lot.
It's the first appearance of the Froghemoth.
Oh, Froghemoth.
Right.
It's got the Ambusher, which is the stump in the ground with a bunny on top. It really opens up into a mouth, and there's tentacles underneath the ground. So when you get too close, it just pulls you into the mouth. It has the first appearance of veggie pygmies in it. It's a beautiful adventure.
That sounds
also
delightful.
Stephen Colbert's favorite
Ooh,
adventure.
okay.
I'm in good company.
Sounds delightful.
Last but not least, my lovely better half and our resident kinder. Cassandra, tell them where they can find you.
Nowhere. You can find me here every 2 weeks. That's about it. Yeah. Look at everyone else's stuff. It's much cooler than my stuff. My favorite thing, I don't know, I'm kind of a real fan of like the roof collapsing and the chaos that ensued. I'm loving doing some chaos, and I think everyone I'm real good at it. But I think everyone who's watching needs to get online tomorrow and wish Benjamin a happy birthday because tomorrow is his birthday.
Yay!
Hey, nice. I think that Amulet. Oh, yeah. I couldn't hear that.
Yeah, bend your microphone. It's cutting out again.
How about now?
There it is.
Better.
There you are.
All I said was betrayal most foul.
Oh, whatever. I love your birthday. It's going to be great.
I think that Amulet should start a little like pea patch community, a kindergarten, if you will.
Oh no.
Oh.
You all have inspiration going into next. That is terrible.
Wow.
Casual Dog, as always, thank you so very much for being our producer / person running everything. Without you, the game doesn't run. I can't remember our social media. I know that it's like Heel Turn and DNDDT and whatever. Every other Tuesday, you can find me on Twitch for Tiny Ming Tuesdays, making dudes with and ladies with the Minnesota Madman Matt Lind and Diamond Dave Wheeler. I'll alert you now, I'm not doing any trilogies until the new year. However, the first thing I'm going to do, even though I said it would be Monster Hearts, I lied. There will be a Star Wars trilogy to start off the new year in January. Now, that being said, I'm taking players, but don't say you're going to play if you're going to back out right before the game, because I can't deal with that stress again.
I know a guy.
I know a guy too who is going to be in every Star Wars game I'm ever running ever again. So I'm anticipating that Shannon, you'll be in it, and Mark will be in it. I don't know about the world's greatest ring announcer or not. No offense to Vlad, but we all know it's maddening.
No, it's not. It's Vlad. Shut your mouth.
But I'm actually, Beard has talked me into doing 2 Star Wars the next couple months. I am also still doing Monster Hearts. But we are also still, if people are interested in running a trilogy, get a hold of James or Beard, Warrior, or myself, and let's get some other games going on Known World United. That's what it's there for. So I want to thank every single person who played, every single person who popped in, every single person who watched it or will watch the episode. And of course, I want to thank you for being absolutely amazing players and making every session you guys have is better than the session before. It's terrifying. So with that, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.